In August of 1967, when I was several years younger than even the youngest of my students at the University of Oklahoma, I had matriculated at that center of Renaissance learning known as Arkansas State University, way over in the rice, cotton, and soybean fields of the Mississippi embayment. The following spring, I enrolled in a class called Physical Science, taught by a professor with the prosaic name of Bill Smith. Physical science was a smattering of the findings of several disciplines, including classical physics, atomic theory, chemistry, geology, cosmology, and so forth. Despite my lifelong math-challenged condition, this was the most interesting course I had ever taken, and I almost changed my major on account of it. During one of his lectures, Bill Smith said, and this is an exact quotation, "Most scientists don't foresee a 21st century for mankind." I don't remember the context in which he made that observation, and I also have no way of knowing whether his claim of most scientists was accurate or hyperbolic in 1968. I seem to recall that I related his declaration to my own suspicions about the role nuclear weapons would play in the not-too-distant future. This dread had pretty much been a constant feature of my life for as long as I can remember. During the intervening years, I've come to realize that the broad outlines of anthropogenic climate change have been understood by many scientists for well over 4 decades, and Prof. Smith might have been referring to that. I also know that peak oil was already a known quantity at that time, even though I never heard about it, that I can recall, before the late 80s. Many scientists had also come to realize what a dead end our agricultural practices represented. Norman Borlaug had warned us that he had bought us 30 years with his Green Revolution. And most understood the threat of exponential human population growth, even when that population was only about half what it is at present. When I was born 66 years ago, the human population was 2.5 billion. That figure has almost tripled during my lifetime. I've long since come to the conclusion that Bill Smith wasn't just blowing smoke out of his ass. I wish I'd understood him better. Or perhaps I shouldn't vilify the ensuing decades of blissful ignorance, since they included the happier times of a life that has probably gone on for too long, and the memory of them occasionally helps in the perpetual struggle to continue living with the awful knowledge of what we hairless monkeys, we supposedly wise apes, have wrought.